Thanks for joining us. Time to get ready for NBA action on 2K Sports. It's Tuesday Hoops, and it's next. It's going to be the Dallas Mavericks up against Tyreek Evans and the Sacramento Kings. Now our broadcast swings to Sacramento, where Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, and Steve Kerr have the call.
The Mavericks look to tangle with a fellow Western Conference foe coming into town for this game today. Great to be with you. This is Kevin Harlan here with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg as 2K Sports presents this Tuesday afternoon broadcast of the NBA. And here are the Mavericks starting five, courtesy of State Farm. Marion and Dirk make up the forwards. Jason Kidd is out there with Carter, and it's Odom in at the 5 down low. And for Sacramento, we've got Tyreek Evans. Hickson is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Thomas. And it's Garcia in at the 3, the small forward.
Well, Dallas may not be the toughest team defensively, but they're very smart. They do a nice job of avoiding fouls and keeping teams off the free throw line.
And it's the Kings to start out. Thomas passes to Evans. Dishes to Hickson. Three-pointer, and the shot is good. Garcia's got the first points up on the board here for the Kings. And Steve, you brought up the fouls. Part of it, Clark, is that they aren't overly aggressive on D, but another part is they're maybe too careful, too.
Yeah, you got to have the right mixture of aggressiveness and caution. You want to strike a balance there. Dallas isn't going to shut any team down with their D, but they're not giving games away either with silly fouls, and that's how you got to approach it from their standpoint.
We'll now go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Paul Westphal. Doris?
Kevin, I asked him what, other than the typical offensive-defensive matchups, might make a major difference here today. He said we need to respect their rebounding talent and always be aware of where their big men are when the shot goes up. We'll see if they respond to that challenge and take it on, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris, for that. Obviously, getting better position, Clark, on the boards is an issue.
Yeah, that and the will to get it done, Kevin.
Now, here's Thomas, following the miss by DeMarcus Cousins. Evans dishes to Cousins. Goes right up. Dallas has come out of the gates quickly. It's a three-point game. Carter working against Evans. Poked loose.
Well, out of the break, guys, he's managed to turn it over twice now, and that doesn't bode well for the rest of the quarter if he doesn't shake out of it and tighten things up.
It's good defense. Don't let a guy get a lay-in, foul hard, and send him to the free throw line.
Yeah, I like that billboard there, sending a message. You can't come in here and get anything free in our paint.
The Kings are making a switch. Thornton's checked in. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for the Mavericks.
Well, you know, when Tyreek Evans was drafted by the Kings in 2009, they promoted him as a point guard with future, but I think people are starting to realize he's probably more of a shooting guard because of his scorer's mentality.
Carter with the 3. Good, and the assist to Kidd.
I love how relentless he is. I mean, he just continues to come at you all night.
Tries it from the top of the key. And the Kings check on 2 more. You know, when you talk about Evans at the shooting guard position, Clark, he's got the size, 6'6", and almost a 7-foot arm span.
No, and he is so strong. And, you know, I think, especially for a player of his age, in certain matchups, he's a guy you can maybe play at the small forward spot, but I think he's got to have the ball in his hands. And he's not a bad playmaker, but his strength is certainly his scoring ability.
And last year I thought was a tough season for Tyreek Evans. He was the reigning Rookie of the Year, but had a number of foot injuries, caused him to miss almost 30 games. And when he did play, he struggled with his shot, only 42% from the field.
And so he makes both from the line.
And, Steve, you know it's always tough when you're dealing with injuries, but I think also when you've been the Rookie of the Year and you come into that second year, teams are geared up to make you do things you're not comfortable doing. But I think more than anything, it was the injuries that set Tyreek Evans back a bit.
Yeah, he's always going to pull the trigger when you give him that kind of look.
Pass to Hickson. Evans' shot is good. Evans has got 8.
You know, it's a plus to get good looks in the paint, and when you can get them, you got to score them. Although they thought they might be leaving the arena, the Kings didn't exactly play well at home. I mean, they had a terrible record on their own floor.
Now here's Marion. Good in the assist to Kidd. Kidd's got his 3rd assist on the night. Talk about the Kings. Actually, Steve, the worst home record in the entire league.
Isn't that amazing? When you think back a few years ago when Sacramento was generally regarded as the toughest venue in the NBA. But times have changed. Sacramento in a downturn, and they're trying to turn things around now. One way to do that is to take care of your home floor.
Kidd gets whistled for a loose ball foul. That's his first foul. Oh. No, he may have gotten injured right there. He's in a lot of pain.
Boy, that did not look good, Clark. I'm not sure how soon we'll see him back.
Yeah, I'm with you there, partner. I mean, that's the last thing anybody wants to see, that kind of injury.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Samuel Dallenberg is checked in for Cousins. Green comes in for Francisco Garcia. And Thomas subbed in for Marcus Thornton. Dallas also making some changes. Lamar Odom, he's checked in for Hayward. Peja Stojakovic comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And it's Terry in for Vince Carter. And play stops. Whistle on what... looks to be an illegal screen.
Well, tough call there on that illegal screen.
He didn't look set to me, Steve. I thought that was a good call.
Outside Stojakovic. That's good. Stojakovic has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Kings trail by 6. Easy shot. Evans' shot is good.
You know, when there's little or no D on this guy and he's headed to the rim, just chalk it up and go on.
Terry outside. Evans picks him up. Takes it up. And it's sent back by Dallenberg. And here comes Evans. He's got 10. He goes up. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Evans has got 12. Here's Terry. If they time it right, they can end this quarter with a 2-for-1.
Yeah, that's the smart move there. That's how you want to end the quarter, but make sure you get a good solid possession here.
Puts the fadeaway right on the money.
Now, if you can't get around your defender, sometimes the best way to get a shot off is to go to that fadeaway.
Tries for the alley-oop. The alley-oop layup. Very well done. Terry's got his second basket of the game.
Wonderful unspoken communication that time between two teammates.
Boy, Steve, the timing was ideal.
Well, a difficult play made to look easy.
Outside Thomas. And the Kings check on 2 more.
Right out of the gate, just filling it up.
Both teams are, guys. I mean, points coming fast and furious.
With 1 on the clock. And Jason Terry again. Terry's got 6.
Boy, this is scary. You get a score rolling like this, you're in some trouble.
Yeah, you can't leave a guy like that on an island. I mean, you got to bring some help.
Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. The Mavericks on top. They lead by 6.
And you get a chance early on to see their depth. They got a nice effort from their bench players early in this game.
Yeah, Steve, I tell you what, their subs have really packed the punch for them so far.
It's more NBA coming your way. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Mavericks leading by 6.
Well, nothing really went right for the Sacramento Kings last year. This team really struggled. And going against a tough Western Conference night in and night out, that's tough. That's grueling. And that team won only 15 games against conference opponents.
Hickson is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Salmons, and it's Green, and it's Thornton in at the point. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Kings.
Good foul. Make him earn the free throws. Don't let this team dunk.
I like that. That's a smart foul. I mean, it's a lot easier to dunk it than it is to hit 2 free throws. Make them earn them at the stripe.
Going back to what Steve just said, you know, the West is no picnic and can eat up teams that don't have too much experience. And Clark, the Kings were one of those teams.
Yeah, a young team looking to find its way. I mean, it's a bit of a trial by fire for the Kings as they continue to try to progress forward. Really, they can take their lumps from last year and try to learn from them and get healthy. Tyreek Evans had the foot problems that were an issue. And they've just got to focus on moving forward in a positive vein.
It's stolen by Odom, and they're pushing it up. Here's West. Again, the Mavericks score.
There are 2 guys thinking alike. Perfect pass and perfect catch. Well done both ways.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey, Kevin. Well, one of the keys to the Mavs title was their ability to turn the corner and doing so on the defensive end of the floor. They identified it as a problem from the year before and worked on it consistently from the opening practice. As Coach Rick Carlisle said, I think our guys realize that hard, consistent defense and staying with a system is the most important part of our success. Defense wins championships, guys.
Thank you, Doris. That change indeed helped lead them to a title.
The Mavs have always been a great offensive team, but really the difference for them last year was how they turned it up on the defensive end.
Here's Thompson. Straight up. And there's DeMarcus Cousins on the assist by Thompson. Cousins has got his first basket. Mavericks leading by 10.
When you hear people talk to DeMarcus Cousins, they always talk about the talent, big body, skill, good feet, excellent hands. He has the potential to be a dominant big man.
West outside, guarded by Garcia. West kicks to Stojakovic. Another 3 for Dallas. Clark talking about the great skill level, Steve, of DeMarcus Cousins. I think some felt that last season he had a tendency to get too fancy, shooting outside shots, putting his ball handling to the test.
Yeah, I think the big thing with DeMarcus Cousins is to establish that inside game first and work on that low post game and his footwork. And if he can do that, then as a coach, now you allow him to go out and play some pick and pop stuff and knock down that outside shot. But he's got to establish the post game first.
Here's Thornton. Delonte West making his last shot. That's good. Cousins has got 6 points.
Guys, you're not going to get away with that kind of defense when he's got the ball. I mean, you got to do better than that.
Carter, and it's good on the layup. And the Mavericks lead by 13.
Yeah, you got to have some aerial skills to pull that off.
You know, Dallas survived the Blazers in round 1 and had to deal with a much bigger threat in L.A. in round 2.
Stolen by Haywood.
Boy, you got to love that kind of anticipatory defense.
West kicks to Carter. Tipped.
Great job playing the passing lanes and forcing that turnover.
Here's Sacramento now, trailing by 13. Here's Cousins. Wide open. And the Kings check on 2 more. Back to the Mavs for just a moment. What a message they sent, Steve, by sweeping the Lakers in 4.
Well, that was the point where you knew they were a championship caliber team. I mean, they were. A lot of people expected them to actually lose to Portland in the first round. When they won that series, it was like, okay, but you sweep the Lakers, man, that's something.
Timeout called by the Kings.
When you think of Dallas, and you don't really think about a pounded inside team. I mean, and there's good reason for that. Despite their size, they were in the top 5 last year in the number of three-pointers taken.
Sacramento making some changes. Samuel Dallenberg, who's checked in for Cousins. Hickson comes in for Jason Thompson. And Tyreek Evans subbed in for Marcus Thornton. Dallas also making some changes. Mahimi's checked in, and it's Odom in for Dirk Nowitzki. Puts up the baby hook. Nice shot by Dallenberg. Mark, going back to Dallas, you're right on the money again. It helps when pretty much everyone on the floor can shoot the three ball at any given time.
Makes you hard to guard.
It does.
It sure does, because now you've got the defense spread out, and you've got them on the run, you've got them on a string. It's exactly how Dallas won those games last year. Stretch you out and shoot it.
Mavericks leading by 12. Three-pointers to Jakovic. Good, and the assist to Kidd. Kidd's got his 4th assist in this one. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Kevin, Dirk Nowitzki, a humble superstar, he never gets full of himself. If anything, it's the opposite. Head coach Rick Carlisle, no one's going to be a harsher critic of his game than him. One of the things we've all got to do is make sure he's not too hard on himself. He's going to take a lot of that stuff personally because as the face of the franchise, he wants a responsibility for winning and losing. That's what makes him special. Even after winning the ultimate prize, you know Nowitzki won't let up with his great work ethic.
That's why he's a champion, Doris. Thanks. The shot's good from Carter.
Finger roll, that's pure style, guys. I like that.
The Kings trail by 16. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Nice shot by Evans.
You know, he's always been like a bad window washer, a streaky shooter. I mean, he's definitely in one of those grooves right now.
Carter working against Garcia. That's tipped. Now here's Evans. 14 points for him. And he makes good on the layup. Evans has got 16. He gets it up. No good on the buzzer beater. And that concludes the first half. Live from Powell.
It's Tuesday in the NBA.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Here's who Rick Carlisle is starting the second half with. Marion and Dirk make up the forwards. Carter is out there with Jason Kidd, and it's Odom in at the center position.
You know, last year for Dirk might have been one of his best to date. I mean, I think it was even better than his MVP year. He was just superb, but a lot of that had to do with what he showed in the playoffs. I think he was at such a high level of performance during the playoffs.
And across the board, his stats, just amazing.
Well, he's monogrammed this game in a big way.
Working on Hickson. Fades. And it's good. 12 points for Nowitzki. Well, back to Dirk. He was in consideration for another MVP, Steve, finishing right in back of Rose last year.
Well, he made a pretty good case for himself. The best field goal percentage of his career, and was a force for Dallas all season long. They had that incredible postseason run. And if it hadn't been for an injury at midseason, which cost him about 10 or 12 games, I believe, I think Dirk might have won it.
Fader on the way. Gets the bucket. Nowitzki's got 4 this quarter.
They are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot.
And the Kings making a change here. Thornton's checked in.
Now make some noise. Let's hear it for your Sacramento dance team.
Here's Garcia. 6 points for him. Over Marion. Shot is blocked. Mavericks leading by 12. For 3, Kidd. And that one's good. Kidd's got 6 points.
This is great stuff, guys. You can tell he's hurting, but he continues to play well. Well, it was a tough year for the Kings last season, but they do have a nice collection of young talent. When you look at Tyreek Evans, DeMarcus Cousins, Marcus Thornton have made a nice impact as well.
Carter, that's good.
And he answers right back with a 3 of his own.
Well, you can see it. They're getting into it a bit. A little mano-mano here. one-upsmanship taking place.
Steve, back to what you mentioned, to have that much talent in Cousins and Tyreek Evans, Clark, you just hope it pans out.
Well, again, I think it will. I mean, you've got two nice pieces to build around. Marcus Thornton is a pretty nice scorer. They've got some other players, Thompson out there.
And he flushes it through. Sprite Slam Cam with the replay.
Now, that's a special order right there.
Not everybody can cap off a dunk like that.
Yeah, very difficult maneuver, but a tremendous one if you can pull it off.
Evans against Odom. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Great lob, great catch, perfect execution on the alley-oop.
And not just with any old finish. Either the big stuff.
Yeah, little something for everybody, Kevin.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
You know, guys, the biggest story with the Kings actually happened in the offseason. Many thought they would move down south, but found a way to stay in Sacramento, at least temporarily.
Jason Thompson is checked in for Sacramento. And a switch here now also for Dallas. Mahimi's checked in. And Nowitzki backs in. He bounces it in off the front of the iron. Nowitzki's got 18 points in the game. Clark, and what a big victory for the city of Sacramento, who just love their Kings.
Yeah.
The attendance has been down a little bit, Steve, but you know, that could build up. We've got a couple nice young players on that ball club, and maybe there's better times ahead.
Well, you hope so, because this is one of the great fan bases in the NBA. The Sacramento fans so loyal to their team. It would be great to see them stick around Sacramento and to build another exciting playoff caliber team.
Now make some noise. Let's hear it for your Sacramento Dance team.
1:53 left to play in the third. Evans passes to Cousins. The monster one-hand slam.
Not much of a job there protecting the rim. I mean, poor.
Well, they just pretty much opened the door for him.
Yeah, he didn't waste the opportunity, did he? DeMarcus Cousins from Mobile, Alabama. Really played football more often than basketball as a kid, but finally fell in love with the game after junior high school and became that one-year wonder at Kentucky before moving on to the NBA.
Now here is Garcia. Tight defense on him. Kidd against Thornton. Here's Evans. They rule this one. Goaltending. Count the shot.
He can't do it all. I mean, he's scoring big numbers, but he's got to get some help from his teammates.
And some changes here for the Kings. J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Thompson. Green comes in for Francisco Garcia. And it's Selman's in for Marcus Thornton. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Peja Stojakovic, he's checked in for Nowitzki. Stevenson comes in for Sean Marion. Jason Terry is checked in for Vince Carter. And Delonte West is subbed in for Jason. Kid. And Steve, you just mentioned that DeMarcus Cousins transitioning as a kid from football to basketball. A lot of times with big men, it's, you know, Clark, the game chooses them. Everyone says, hey, you know, you're so tall, you should be playing basketball.
That is so true, and you oftentimes see bigger guys maybe not have the passion. Not the case with Cousins. I mean, he loves the game, plays with tremendous passion. It's a matter of him managing that passion appropriately that's going to determine how good he becomes.
Well, the grimace of pain tells it all. He's hurt, and let's hope he's okay.
Man, first look, I don't know, guys. Tough to tell just how bad it is.
For his sake, hoping that we're hoping he's okay.
And Nowitzki backs in. From the arc, another three for Dallas.
That's now 7 straight for them coming from fast breaks.
Just making it look easy out there the way they're running.
Evans puts up the baby hook, and the Kings check on 2 more.
What an offensive display he's putting on.
And at this point, Steve, you got to put more pressure on him. Bring help and make him move the ball.
And the basket by Nowitzki.
And he cannot play any better than he is right now in this quarter, guys.
And here's Evans. He's got 24. Goes up from the top of the key. And that one's good. Evans has got 26. And here we go with Delonte West. Here's Terry. And he beat the buzzer, but it's no good. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Dirk Nowitzki having a dominant impact in this game.
Well, it's the concentration defensively, the anticipation, the quick hands. He's really been a force, a disruptive player today.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Disruptive, and he really forces you to pay attention to him at all times. You can't be looking around and not protecting the ball when he's around.
Mavericks lead by 19. As the fourth quarter gets rolling here, let's check out our Sprite Spark of the Game, presented by Sprite. Hey, Doris.
Thanks, Kevin. It's the Mavericks with the spark of the game with that big push we saw. In that last quarter, things started falling their way, and they clearly have momentum on their side as we head down the stretch in this one. We'll see if they can maintain that same kind of intensity they just showed us in the third period, guys.
Thank you, Doris. They made a statement with that big run, Clark.
They sure did. I mean, actually, this team has what I like to call spurtability.
Clark, that's becoming one of our trademarks right there.
Without question.
We're all over it.
One of the great basketball words out there.
And Clark, I think the defense was sort of shell-shocked by that spurtability. They were reeling.
They've got Hickson, Thornton out there with Garcia. Then it's Dallenberg, and it's Green in at the 3 slot. That's the 5 out there for the Kings. That's good. Garcia's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Kings. Mavericks leading by 16. Here is Barea. And here's Stevenson for 3. And here are the Kings now. It's a 16-point game. Even numbers. And they cash in right away with the quick shot.
This team just looking to run at every opportunity.
Circles around them is what they're doing. I mean, pushing the tempo and really enjoying an advantage there.
Hickson with the bucket. Here's West. Ring shot on the way, and the shot is good. And the Mavericks lead by 18. Here's Thornton. Kicks to Garcia. Uncovered, and the Kings check on 2 more.
That's the way to do it. Really nice ball movement there.
Here is Barea. And here is West. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line. Sacramento making some changes. Jason Thompson, he's checked in for Hickson. And Tyreek Evans subbed in for Marcus Thornton. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Marion. Stevenson comes in for Vince Carter. And Barea subbed in for Jason Kidd. That free throw good from West.
And once again, the Mavs were a terrific road team last year, winning 28 games and losing 13 away from Dallas.
Pulls it from the elbow. Thompson with the bucket.
Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
West outside. 3-pointer. That is good. West has got 13 points in the second half. You know, Clark, you always don't think of them that way, but the Mavs have been a great team on the road for quite some time.
You know, you do overlook that, Kevin, until you look at the numbers. I mean, I'm not sure why it is, but they consistently are at the top of the NBA in road wins year to year. even close out their first-round playoff win last year on the road. That's always impressive.
A moment for a Gatorade injury report.
Guys, I was able to catch up with the Mavericks head athletic trainer, Casey Smith. He filled me in on the situation. It's a lower back strain, and it has him suffering through an awful lot of pain at the moment. He's finished for the rest of the game, and indications are he could miss a lot of time down the road.
All right, Doris, thank you. And Steve and Clark, certainly not the news his fans were hoping for.
No, Kevin, guys, it's really too bad. Just a terribly unfortunate turn of events here.
Well, yeah, you hate to see that happen. In the meantime, his team now has to compensate for the loss. Let's see how they step up.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Dallin. Dixon comes in for Jason Thompson. And it's Salmon's in for Francisco Garcia.
Yeah, you can tell they're getting frustrated defensively out here. All these three-pointers falling.
Yeah, Steve, they're ready to throw their hands up. You can see it. The frustration is very visible. I mean, when you spread the floor and shoot the three the way they've done here in the second half, it's really hard to defend.
Here's Evans. Now Cousins. And you can count. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it three.
That takes a lot of strength to finish a play like that while you're getting fouled.
Boy, and he had it on display right there, partner. I mean, that was muscle. That was strength on display finishing that shot.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Francisco Garcia, he's checked in for Green. And Thomas subbed in for John Salmons. And Nowitzki backs in. Drives in the post. And he races to the bucket for two. Nowitzki's got 15 points here in the second half.
Well, that's been nice. Work, guys, that he's been doing. I mean, we haven't seen him take many bad shots. It's a sign of a mature, poised player.
And Garcia gives to Thomas from past the arc. That one goes.
Well, I like the fluidity I'm seeing from him on offense. It's a thing of beauty. Fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. They're moving the ball well, finding the open man, making that extra pass. They're playing very unselfishly right now.
Here's Nowitzki. And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot two.
Hey, now, I mean, Dirk is getting into his 30s, okay? But the way he plays, you got to think that his performance won't dip too much as he ages because he came to do a move around, and he's a great shooter. Not just a good shooter, a great shooter, and probably as good an unorthodox shooter as we've ever seen in the league.
Well said. And so Nowitzki steals both of them. He said so well on Butter moments ago, he doesn't really rely too much on speed or speedy leaping. So I think that's right where you think.
Yeah, he's so skilled. He moves well, but he's not explosive. So when he gets around the rim, it's all about footwork. Those fadeaways and those incredible depth shots that makes this either feel just an amazing talent.
With the play, Thomas himself off no center and good at 60. 20 points for Vince Carter. Now here's Thomas. Evans himself, defended by Carter. Hits and dishes to Evans. He carries us.
Yeah, I agree. Just not enough time, Steve. The clock is their enemy, not their friend.
Different look here. He's checked in. Marion comes in for Sean Stevenson. Devontae West checked in for Vince Carter. And Maria subs in for Jason King. Here's Garcia. Sean Marion covering the three ball. And another Sacramento.
Hard to that great shot.
He's just bad, Steve. I mean, going over the point to come from out there.
4 seconds separate the shot game clocks. West outside. Evans picks him up. West ahead.
Like he's just trying to showcase his range. You probably get a shot.
everything goes right for a team, and they can say one of those games.
It certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Well, that'll do it. For George Steve Curry, Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. I'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our short player of the game, Dirk Nowitzki.